Alright, hello everyone, and thank you for tuning in once again to the Black Box Podcast, BBOR, Black Box Online Radio. On this channel, I've done one upload on the case of the Flat Earth Theory. This is something that I followed, about 4 or 5 years ago. I want to say 2013, 2014-ish. And it's not something that is new, but it's received a lot of attention over the last year and a half. The basketball player Kyrie Irving endorsed the theory, as well as the NFL player Geno Smith, who kind of wanted to build up some publicity for himself. So he began talking about the notion that the Earth is flat. The absolute largest group that is promoting the theory online is the Flat Earth Society. And there are a few other copycats out there that have created similar organizations to the Flat Earth Society, but the Flat Earth Society, I'd say, is probably the largest one going on with this. And I get their updates, so we got a new post from them because there was an article in metro.co.uk, which I guess you just call Metro News. I'm from America, so this publication's a little bit unfamiliar with me. But they were discussing the whole possibility of the Earth being a flat disk. One of the absolute largest things that people do with this particular theory is they try to say that the Earth isn't round, it's flat. Well, to call a spade, the Flat Earth Society and all the flat earthers out there also say the Earth is round, right? Right. They say that the Earth is round, but it's round like a CD-ROM, or round like a record, or round like a plate, as opposed to being a spherical like a ball. So it's not that they don't say the Earth is round, they say that the Earth is not a sphere. But they had this new article come out, and the Flat Earth Society posted an update saying, and I quote, "A new study shows people believe in incorrect beliefs such as the globe," that means the round Earth in the shape of a sphere, "due to positive and incorrect feedback they overvalue from their communities, such as academia and educational institutes, rather than logic or reason." This is the Flat Earth Society here. Of course, there is no doubt from reading the comments that we receive almost entirely negative feedback for our beliefs in a flat Earth, which seems to undermine the writer's point, especially as the whole natural evidence seems to provide reason after reason that the Earth is flat. Any man or woman of reason, when examining the facts objectively and as a whole, can have no doubt in the shape of the Earth, unless he or she engages in self-deception for the purposes of conformity. Now, it's so weird when you read something like that, because you can almost tell that the person who wrote it is not an idiot, they are not stupid, and then you just begin to wonder, why would somebody be putting up a page like the Flat Earth Society? Do they genuinely believe that the Earth is flat like a disc? I mean, when we live in this global age, it's so strange, but they actually brought up an excellent point in the sense that people will say things on the internet, no matter what it is, if they get a confirmation, from their peers, if they get some sort of positive feedback, as they call it. And it's it's really difficult for us as the researchers and the observers and just, the audience to these things, to try and siphon through the noise versus the actual facts and the truth and the accurate information. And it's really difficult. What this post that I just read doesn't really talk about is, what if someone is intentionally trying to deceive you? It's the reason why people put out hoaxes, my personal belief, based on reading that text, the sort of underlying messages, yes, they want power and yes, they want profit, but it's also they get positive feedback because people just have this fascination with the far out. I was about to say the weird and the absurd and the crazy, but it's just the far out wacky ideas. And by wacky, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's wrong. It's just that people have this fascination with that stuff. There is no doubt from reading the comments that we receive almost entirely negative feedback. They're trying to use this as evidence that the Earth is a flat disk, because they're saying that if the popular belief is that the Earth is a round sphere, then it's the popular belief that is less likely to be correct, because, mainstream science has been polluted, mainstream science has been diluted, mainstream science has been just manipulated by quackery, and just manipulated by people who are just going off of conformity and seeking out positive feedback. That's really what I was trying to say with the hoaxes. That's like why people are putting these things out there, just because they enjoy the positive feedback. And they would only be able to do so if they got this sort of positive feedback. It's just, I just really have to wonder, though, do people actually think that the Earth is not round like a ball? I mean, is the Earth not a sphere? I mean, do you know anyone in your personal life who actually believes this? I just was so kind of mind-boggled by this one. I made my first upload on the channel just kind of discussing about why there is just this such enormous upswing. A lot of people like myself tune into the Flat Earth Society just because it's something that is very, very different, and we just want to know kind of what the other person is thinking. Or at the very least, it's like pushing to the edge of the unknown, kind of. And by unknown, I mean in ideas. But they're putting forth this argument saying that it is more likely that the Earth is a flat disk, because if something is mainstream, it's been polluted and contaminated. It is a polluted and contaminated idea. Well, on the one hand, that's completely true. There's even a saying in academia, like if something is acceptable to the general public, then it is not worthy of academia. But it's like, does that mean that the Earth is not a sphere? Does that mean that the Earth is not a globe? Yeah, I don't think so. This really overshoots the point, because it's all about, not only empiricism. It's not only about, being empirical, and we can make observations that kind of have to be accepted, and we have to understand before we can get to the point of, it being contaminated. Like, is this the ground? Is that the sky? Is that a wall? Is that the door? We know what these things are. They're singular existential statements. Like, we've already accepted them to be correct because they flippin' are. Because they are correct, based on just kind of our understanding of states of being. And is the shape of the Earth the same way about that? We don't have to argue too hard about whether or not the Earth is a globe or not. I mean, yes, it is. And is this just something that is done to sort of try and brainwash people? I don't really think so. I don't really think NASA is running some sort of brainwashing operation. My real reason for making these kind of uploads on the Flat Earth Society and the Flat Earth Theory is just I really just wanted to know, do people genuinely believe this stuff? Because in my first upload, I mentioned in 2011 and 2012, the internet went crazy for Bigfoot. And, Bigfoot believers never went away, but there was a massive upswing of that, and people did at least argue in favor of it, all across the forums, all across the comments sections on Facebook and YouTube. People were very passionate about it. And the only people I find that are really arguing the flat earth theories are the ones who are either Kyrie Irving or someone who's running a Twitter page or a Facebook page, like the one that I just read the update from the Flat Earth Society from. You can just find them, the Flat Earth Society, on Facebook. And the big thing about this is, I really just wanted to know, do these people genuinely believe it, or are they just having fun? Is this the whole James Heydrich notion of, I just wanted to see how much I could get away with, I just wanted to see how many people could be fooled by something? James Heydrich was a fake psychic that got debunked by James Randi on national television. Then he went to jail for other things, by the way. But is that what this is with the whole Flat Earth Society thing? I would say whoever is running their page on Facebook, though, has some sense. And, it's like, it's that age-old tactic of blending the facts with just, far-out wacky ideas that are very difficult to prove or disprove. But, the Flat Earth Society is one that really rests in conspiracy theories as opposed to something of, they really try to expose the conspiracy side of it before they get to the science. It's more like NASA has faked the photos. It's more like this is how you fake a photo to make the Earth look round when it's not. These are the reasons why NASA wants to lie to us. The UN logo is of a flat Earth. They know the truth and they want to brainwash us. But the problem is, yes, the government does want us to be stupid. That's why, that's why we have the world that we live in. That's why CNN is so entertaining, because they want to dumb down the collective intelligence of the population. So we just watch crap like Anderson Cooper and Wolf Blitzer and la-di-da. All that stuff is real. It's just... But does that mean that the Earth is not a globe? Does that mean the Earth is not a round sphere? No. Because, once again, there are some things that we just have to accept, like, based on our awareness of existence. And there's that old saying that where there's smoke, there is often fire. And we have a lot of smoke right now saying that the Earth is a ball. This I know that putting out an upload like this isn't the most popular subject in the world, but I just read this post today and I thought, that's some very well-worded ideas coming from the Flat Earth Society Facebook page, and I was just like, I don't know, it just got me thinking a little bit, and this is one of the ways to kind of let that stuff out. Excuse me for this long, twisted, rambling thing about whether or not the Earth is flat. I hope you'll forgive me about this one. But, it's kind of just fascinating to explore the possibility that there are people out there that would genuinely believe this, as opposed to individuals who are just like, as I said, just throwing out something far-fetched to see how many people will get hooked in, how many people would genuinely believe this. Alright, well that's all for me now. If you have anything to say, though, about what we've discussed about today, please drop a comment below. Do you think that science has become so polluted and so contaminated that even accepting the notion of a spherical Earth is included in that? Even accepting the idea that the Earth is a round globe has been included with that? Has conformity reached so far that now people are thinking that the Earth is round like a ball? Well, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think. Until next time.